It's Friday. It's Smackdown. I wear blue on Fridays. Get out of here. Georgia Tech just became a lot more cooler than it's supposed to be, probably. Ha! Anyway, it's Smackdown. Let's go back to Pier Power. Let's just get at her. On tonight's show, Roman and Cody face off on Georgia Tech Field. It's pretty fun, actually. LA Knight and Andrade end up having an amazing match. And we got more Andrade and Kamala coming as well. Plus, on top of that, too, we got a little bit of news on the way as well with Lucha Bros, as well as Smackdown going to 3 hours, probably. Jesus. Anyway, starting off, though, we start off with the Bloodline versus KO. And it was really supposed to be DIY, but it turns out to be KO and the Street Profits. Now, we'll explain that in a second. Now, KO, the show starts off with the Bloodline walking in, getting frisked by people. They got frisked. Jacob and Fatu didn't really like it too much. Maybe they touched him somewhere he didn't like it, so he kicked the hell out of them. All security that was there. They were embarrassed last week. Can't blame them. Got beat up. Got blamed up. Got beat up. Yep. Anyway, KO comes out. Now, there was a segment earlier tonight with Cody and Roman. We're going to get to that very, very shortly. Right? KO is asking his thoughts about it. KO ends up going to the ring about it. He gets asked by Brian Saxon twice. He didn't want to answer to Brian Saxon because I don't blame him. It's Byron Saxon. He's a kind of a special kid. So, KO gets out the ring. As he's about to explain why, he doesn't seem like he's really happy about it. So he's going to explain it basically why. Tama Tonga comes out. They gave him a mic and let him talk some. He's great. He told how they were embarrassed. He didn't like it very much. They were going to beat up Kevin Owens. They start fighting Kevin Owens. DIY ends up coming out, save the day. Right? All this comes out, announces, hey, guess what? We're also going to have a three-way match, a six-man tag tonight. DIY and KO versus the Bloodline. KO gets to the match. KO comes out. DIY is about to come out. They don't come out. Bloodline's up. Jacob Fatu's music comes out. They all come out. Minus Solo Sikoa. He was nowhere to be seen today, actually, to be honest with you. He ends up coming on out. They end up attacking Kevin Owens. And the Street Profits come on down. And they end up getting behind Kevin Owens. And they end up fighting the Bloodline, turning them into the match, taking over for DIY. Great match. I tell you, though, the Street Profits and KO were dominating the match, a lot of it, until Jacob Fatu comes in. That guy just comes in, he just wrecks everything for them. They presented him as like a complete and utter monster, which is great. I love Jacob Fatu. He's fantastic. Right? So, eventually he gets out of the ring. They start going out again, so they start dominating again. Jacob Fatu comes in, once again, dominates again. Jacob Fatu ends up, and they knocked out of the ring for a little bit. KO and Tama Tonga end up fighting. And I tell you, when these two guys fight, I just want to have them have a singles match on their own. KO versus Tama Tonga, just let them go. It's just a lot of fun, these two going at it. It's just a ton of fun. Just give them a singles match on SmackDown, out of pay-per-view. I don't care. Just do it. A lot of fun. Right? Now, right, match ends up getting thrown out because KO ends up hitting Tama Tonga with a stunner. Right? When he gets pulled out, the ring by Tonga Loa. Throws him viciously into the steps. Referee obviously can't control his matches. This is just going absolutely everywhere. The Street Profits are flying one way against Fatu, right? Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga are just fighting Ken Owens. The referee loses control of the match. He just calls it off. Just they're going right at it. They're fighting everybody, right? Kevin Owens is about to go through a table, right? Street Profits get involved here. Jacob Fatu is just beating the living hell out of as many people as they can. He ends up taking Kevin Owens out a little bit. And they have taken out the DIY. Then, as they're about to finish off KO, Cody Rhodes comes out. Cody comes out, saves the day with a chair, taking out the Bloodline. Jacob Fatu and him start squaring off one-on-one, like so, mano-a-mano. Kevin Owens ends up doing this, right? They end up getting out of there, right? Cody ends up hitting Fatu with a Cody cutter, hitting Fatu out. KO ends up standing there with a chair in his hand, and it looks like KO is about to hit Cody. Maybe yes, maybe no. We don't know yet. So KO ends up just hugging Cody. They shake hands. You can tell, though, KO's visibly upset with Cody because he's teaming with Roman Reigns. Speaking of that, KO, Cody Rhodes, and Roman Reigns meet at Georgia Tech football field. Cody comes in his car. Roman comes in with a fleet. You know, it's Cody, Roman Reigns. What do you expect? Comes in to get to the 50-yard line, right? Roman sees Cody. They start talking face to face. Roman tells him, says, hey, see this field here? I spilled blood, sweat, and tears on this field. This is like my field, right? My stadium. This is like my city. Cody's response was, I was born here. My family down the road is one place. Road in Nutfield is what's it called? I think it's stadium. I think it's not. Where the hell is it? It's a stadium in Georgia. Sorry, it's just some line right now. I think it's the Prudential Center. Maybe I could be wrong. Can't remember what he said. So that my family spent blood, sweat, and tears as well as there. So, and this is my home. So he goes, that's cute, real cute. Cody ends up saying to him, Roman says to him, you don't know what you get yourself into here. This is bloodline business, yada, yada, yada. Cody, is not very happy about it, right? Cody says, I have nothing to lose, right? Roman says he has nothing to lose, right? Cody just looks at me and says, I have to know that you're not going to have no turn on me and hang on my back. Roman says simply this, I'll have your back. You have my word on that. But after that, I'm coming for your title. I'm coming for the title. I'm taking my title back. Cody's response was simple. It's not yours to take. As Cody tries to walk away, Roman looks at him and says, you're in my way. He was like, what are you talking about? My way. Roman says, you're in my way in my life, and walks away. We're going to a third match between these two guys. Who's going to win? I don't know. It's going to happen at some point. I don't think WrestleMania. That's probably booked more or less for The Rock at some point, Rock and Roman. But I think somewhere down the line, we're going to have this third match between Roman and Cody. And I think there's going to be a title on the line. Now, who wins that? I don't know. I don't want to say anything who I think is going to win right now because I really don't have a clue. It depends on how far this title run with Cody goes and how his response is now. It almost seemed a little bit, though, too. Now, I know in the past, Cody has said probably couldn't turn heel. We might be getting, we might somewhere down the line get a Cody heel turn. I don't know. Boggles the mind. Might happen. Another thing that was really said, though, too, by Cody in this whole face-to-face was that you're a tribal chief without a tribe. And he told Roman a year ago this was going to happen. So let's just see what's going to happen here, folks. Right? Because Roman did explain to him that the bloodline is bloodline business, and the bloodline took everything from him. Right? Took Jimmy away from him, took the wise man away from him, took the Ulafala away from him. Roman isn't happy. Roman is a man who's been very, very much defeated. Now he wants it all back. So we'll have to see what goes on there with that. We don't know. Like I said, there's a possibility of the Cody Rhodes heel turn. A possibility also of a KO heel turn too. So we don't know what's going on between this whole thing because it's all intertwined right now. You got Bloodline here fighting Kevin Owens and Cody. And you got Roman right here fighting all of them and wanting to fight KO probably again. Maybe so. I know it's a speculation on that one right now. And Cody again. So this whole thing is this one big giant book that's getting more and more interesting as it goes. So we'll have to see what goes on with that. We'll have to find out. Go from there. Also, guys, by the way, make sure you like content below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe down below there. Probably somewhere around this area. Maybe over here. Maybe over there. It's somewhere. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. We thank you for all the support you guys do. Here's a small click for you, big click for us. We appreciate it here at DA Wrestling. Getting on to it now, though, too. LA Knight versus Andrade. And boy, I tell you, this was a hell of an opening match. And to sit here and say that Andrade doesn't deserve the U.S. title at some point is an understatement. He is putting on match after match after match, and I don't know what the hell AEW did with him, but I tell you right now, his first run with NXT was very good. His run on the main roster with the crazy old dink in the back wasn't very good. Then with the AEW, started off decent, kind of turned to poop. I mean, they tried, to put up with tagging him with Roosh. We love here on DA Wrestling, but didn't work out very well. He ends up coming back, and since then he's had a match, amazing match after amazing match after amazing match. It's a great match in LA Knight to the point here. He almost won the title. He had several near falls, closer than probably LA Knight probably should have allowed to have. At one point, he threw LA Knight right directly into the posts, knocking LA Knight silly, then proceeded to moonsault off that post onto LA Knight. Amazing athleticism. He's really showing who Andrade really is when he was when he first came into NXT. Back in the ring, at one point, he has a few roll-ups, almost lays him out a few times. Eventually, he gets on the rope. Elliot tries to jump up and get him. It doesn't work out very well for him. He ends up knocking Elliot Knight off. He tries to go for a missile drop kick. He misses. Quick front first Tama, done. They have shy respect at the end of it. Now, they announced next week Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade. Now, I'll tell you how this happened. Andrade's in the back, licking his wounds from the fact that he lost to LA Knight, which is understandable. It was a hell of a good match, so he probably should have won that match. LA Knight, I'm sorry, not LA Knight. Andrade's sitting there. Carmelo starts shooting his mouth off, saying, if that was me, I would have missed. You're like, you missed just like the Kings missed against the Lakers. Andrade didn't like it. They end up fighting a little bit. Now it's next week. Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes. Somewhere down the line, folks, I gotta wonder here if there is going to be LA Knight versus Andrade versus Carmelo. I know I like to say a lot of three-way match because it just seems to go that way right now. Eventually probably will go this way. But we'll see what happens because I have a feeling Carmelo's eventually going to fight LA Knight, probably lose, and then hence she'll probably get that three-way. We'll see what happens, though. I mean, right now, that's kind of how it's looking. But right now, we're getting that as well. Also, there's off SmackDown. Interesting things that happened between Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, Naomi, and Bayley. Now, that little thing right here. Earlier in the night, we see Tiffany Stratton talking about how she's getting her perm done, her nails done to Nia Jax, and Nia Jax, oh, good for you. And says, you know what? If you get pinned, right, you might want to figure out your way not to be a SmackDown anymore. Because that would piss off Nia. So, cut to the match. It was a good match overall for the most part, right? Lots of high spots here and there. At one point, Tiffany Stratton ends up hitting a 1D on Bayley. Bayley ends up getting Samoa dropped by Nia Jax. Naomi comes out again, starts attacking Nia. Stratton's nowhere to be found at this point right now. She's on the floor. Eventually, Naomi and Bayley both roll up Nia Jax. Both get the pin on her. They both end up pinning the champion. They end up like having a little bit of a tiff-tap back and forth there. All this ends up sitting there saying, you know what? There only can be one, apparently. Like one, whatever. He goes, you know what? Next week on SmackDown, one of you two will face one-on-one, and whoever wins will face Nia at Blood. I don't think it's going to go that way. I'm going to stick with what I said last week, going to being a three-way. I think there's going to be some kind of interference between the two, between Nia Jax and Stratton. So we'll see what happens there and causing a three-way for the match, which probably piss off Jax, which might lead into something else. Other than that, we also got Vinci versus Apollo Crews. Vinci lost again by a roll-up. Ends up taking Apollo Crews right out after he gets all furious and angry. Happens. Anyway, that was SmackDown for the most part, folks. It wasn't anything too crazy, nothing insane. But we really built up with this whole Roman Reigns, Cody, Kevin Owens, Bloodline stuff. Now you're throwing in more of DIY with the Bloodline, with Street Profits. Oh, and by the way, DIY did come back out at the end of the match. They got taken out. I can't remember if I mentioned that or not, but yeah, that's happened there. On to other news, though. Big news coming out of WWE's front, though. Lucha Bros have apparently signed with WWE, and they are going straight to the main roster. Where they will be on, I do not know. Hopefully, they'll just put them into a feud already with like LWO or Legado. Hopefully, do something better with them. It should really help the tag team division with the Lucha Bros in there. I don't want to say I'm a little surprised, but I'm not surprised at this point now. I think when you had the crazy old Bat who used to run the company, I don't think they would ever have shown up here, but now that he's not there and they see what's been going on with Triple H and everybody else that's in WWE, how they've been treated better, that's why they've gone there. So we'll see what happens there with the Lucha Bros. I know I'm looking forward to having Penta El Zero Miedo and Phoenix there. That's going to be a hell of a time. You want to see some matches now? You think some of these guys can go now? Wait till you see these guys. If you haven't seen them yet, if you're only seeing them on AEW, wait till you see them in WWE. Should be like really exciting to see and see what goes on with them. They're probably going to be the tag team at some point. Who knows? Anyway, speaking of other things that happened on SmackDown today, we're going 3 hours, folks. SmackDown is going 3 hours apparently as of January 3rd, 2025. Now, I don't know, that must be part of the USA. It's part of the USA Network deal, obviously. 3 hours of SmackDown on a Friday night. We will have a lot more information coming forward to us, but it was apparently starting going into effect as of January 3rd, 2025. SmackDown going to 3 hours. 3 hours, folks. We just got done with Raw for 3 hours. Now we're getting 3 hours of SmackDown. Granted, SmackDown's been kind of the better show for the past like 2 years, 3 years, but we're getting 3 hours of SmackDown now over the 3 hours of Raw. So I guess pick your poison. You know, so I mean, we weren't really happy. We weren't really happy with 3 hours of Raw. Now we're getting 2. Now we're getting 3 hours. We had 2 hours of SmackDown, which is great. Now we're getting 3. We'll see how that one goes. According to Netflix, though, too, with them going with Raw, going to Netflix, too, it could potentially be 3 hours, too. Might not even be 2 hours. Might only be 2.5 hours. Who knows? We'll find out. Depends on whatever. It's Netflix. They can do whatever they want for the most part. It's a big money deal for the WWE to make Netflix probably a lot of money. So there you go. And folks, that is the news. That is SmackDown. That is everything you need to know that is going on for this Friday, the year of our Lord, the 21st of September, 2025. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Make sure you follow us on Podbean, Spotify, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, A% at 1982 on X, as well as DA Wrestling on X. Also, Doug Lyons, D Lyons 1991 on Twitter or X, or you want to call it DA Sports on TikTok. Make sure you subscribe, Rose. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much, man. We love you very much. Hey, take a look at this video down below here. You might like it too. Have a go, everybody.